Looks like a motorbike. Oh, it's a scooter. Scooter. Well, I've got the kickstand in a Rust, which is over there sitting in the sun baking away. I was going to do some smaller jobs. I want to get the speedo cable in there, get a clip to hold the cable, and I'll also probably just silicone around the end there. I don't want to put any hard glues or cement in there, because then if I need to replace the cable, it's going to be a bastard to get out. But silicone will be pretty easy to pull out, but it'll also just probably give it enough strength just to make sure that it's going to stay in there. I also bought some grommets because I wasn't sure about this. This thing here is pretty pearish and there's no rubber on the bottom side of this, so I bought a grommet that'll sort of just sit in there and then apply cushion to both sides. Yeah, so I've sort of cut a hole out for that. So what I've got is I've got the speedo cable in there. There's obviously nothing to screw that into. The kickstart with, it's been sitting in Rust for a couple of days now. See oh god, that smells terrible. The liquid's gone quite dark, which obviously means it's taken off a bit. Oh well, that actually looks really nice. And we'll dry that out and then we'll just paint it with the black. Okay, so what I've decided here is that the rake on this is a bit off. I want this bottom section here to come forward, and I want this just to come backwards a little bit. So what I've done is I've rigged this up. Hopefully it'll work. It's not exactly scientific, but we've just got jit strap there, and we've got two on this back end, because we don't want to try and bend the back end, but we need to apply force somewhere. So I've got two going through the center bit here, just to try and spread out that force. And we're just going to crank on this one to try and get this angle a bit better. Now, I'm not exactly sure what angle I want for this. At the moment we've got 12 degrees. We want to increase that a bit. We'll bend this back so that this increases a bit. Alright guys, so we're finally making a bit of progress on this thing. We've got this panel on here now. It took a little bit of fixing to get it on, then we basically had to pull this column out, and then we put an old exhaust and pipe through there and just bent it backwards. It means that this now fits onto here, and this all fits without the tire hitting, which is good. But obviously it pulls this panel in a different sort of way. Now the front fender, it looks like it sits just a little bit off where it should be sitting. There's just tiny little gaps. But at least now this main panel is on, which means we can continue work. That's new, we bought that. We bought that from a guy in New Zealand, so it's good. He's got a few Tigress parts, and we got this, which is the steering wheel cover. Easy, just fits over the top here. So that's really easy. I think what we'll do is we'll just get the controls and everything back to working. So I might give that a go. We also got kickstart, so I've got the chain and the little sprocket that goes onto here. So there hasn't been much progress lately because I've been figuring out what's the best way to straighten this. Maybe put it in a bath or something to get that extra last bit of rust off. Might be hard to see on the camera, but there's quite a lot of pissing on this. Here's a big one you can see. And whilst I'm not too concerned about the paint job, I do sort of want it to look somewhat nice, especially this piece, because it's going to be the piece you're looking at the most, being the steering cover. So I've got some of this stuff which basically, I think it's zinc or something, that's supposed to fill in the gaps and you can sand it back. Yeah, we'll see as the colour dries, but at the moment that looks pretty snazzy. Quite like that white. Obviously we'll need a few more coats, but I don't want to get runs or anything in it. I was just trying to do a few 10 minutes or 20 minutes today just to keep chipping away at it. Alright, so I've got this panel mostly taking the paint and rust off. There's still a little few bits of paint there, so I'm just going to give it a quick sand down. Just try and get it smooth. I'm not going to worry too much about the underside. And then I'll put some rust converter on it. There's some bits like down here that are quite bad. So I'll just put some rust converter on it. Sand it up so we get something nice and flat, or as flat as we can. This is the front fender here, and it's a little bit, but we can see it's got a bit of pissing in here especially, so I might try and fill those in for now and see how we go. Alright, so I've got these two panels and I'm just trying to prime them up. I've started priming this other side here, but I'm not too worried about the bottom side of this. You can see it's still got a bit of old paint on it, but prime that, and I've primed this as well. I've started putting a top coat on the other side of paint, but obviously there's still bits here that I've touched up, so I'll just prime those. So I tried painting this panel up, and some bits come out alright, but a lot of it has reacted, and you can see it's got all of this stuff. It's quite bad, so I'm going to have to sand that back. Look, I mean, it's just going to crack all off. And I think this is because when I first sanded this back, there was a lot of spider webbing, like almost rust or something. I think we just need to sand back that stuff enough, because obviously, I mean, it happened before, and I sanded this part out, painted again, but it's obviously still happening in some spots. But what I'll do is I'll just sand all this stuff back where it's gone like this, and then just give it another once over. So I've been sanding this back, and I've just put a coat of primer on there. It doesn't really have those spider webs anymore, which is great. So what I've found is I've just put on a coat of primer. Like, I sanded it all back, basically to bare, covered it in primer, sees what reacts, give that a bit of light sand, and just re-primer it. Yeah, it's not too bad. I painted the underside as well. We'll call that done, or we'll call that good enough.